Ready to go at 126. Adam Sturbois, 0-1 from Athens, Ohio, on the mat for Navy. John Epperly on the mat for Lehigh. He's a freshman, 15-6-2. Sturbois was a late starter. The original listing in the program was for John Kaner, who regularly wrestles at 126 for Navy. He has a 13-11 record this season. As we mentioned earlier, Scott Schleicher, who many would have liked to have seen wrestle for Navy today, the youngster from Allentown, Pennsylvania, at 158, had arthroscopic surgery on his knee earlier in the week. Ed Peary is confident that he will be back shortly in the lineup, but he will not wrestle today for Navy. Lehigh has a edge in the last 11 meetings between the two teams. The brown and white have won 9 out of 11 since 1975. But Navy, as we mentioned, holds the overall record, 36-30. Last year, of course, Lehigh won by a score of 28-12. However, Navy did finish higher than Lehigh by 1.5 points in the EIWA tournament.
So 140 left, first period being in 3 minutes in length, so we're almost halfway through. Epperly very good on his feet, not being able to take the Navy wrestler to his mat in his best position, which is on their feet. Epperly, a 3-time state champion out of Virginia. He's a freshman at Lehigh. This is only the second bout for the Athens, Ohio wrestler representing the United States Naval Academy.
Last time out, Epperly lost a tough bout to Billy Kelly of Iowa State, nationally ranked by a score of 8-2. He had lost to Kelly earlier, 8-6 in the Matttown tournament. Nevertheless, as a freshman, an impressive 15-6-2 record against some of the toughest competition in America.
Oh, he's caught in his uniform there.
52 seconds to go in the period.
You'd heard the ref.
Dr. John Hosage, the official.
Still no takedown. 40 seconds. Nice trip, but they run out of real estate. The 32-foot circle. 41 seconds left. Still a tie.
In the background, the Lehigh coaching staff. Thad Turner, Jim Riley, and Tom Hutchison on the bench.
You know, Shell, it's too bad that it's not too bad for the Adam Sturbois, but with 20 seconds left, John Kaner, who was to wrestle at this weight, or Kaner, went to the high school with Epperly. So there, with 15 seconds to go, a nice duck under by the Navy wrestler, but they ran out of bounds. 10 seconds left. Would have been interesting to have two kids from the same high school going at it. Both from J.W. Robinson High School in Fairfax, Virginia. John Kaner.
Both in the same weight class, too, which is odd.
And with 5 seconds to go, the Lehigh grappler gets a nice pass and a takedown. The 2-point lead.
Let's take a look at that takedown in the closing moments, Larry.
Okay, ducks under, just really off the shrug, slides around the back, and that all happened with about 3 seconds when the referee put his hand in the air. So that gives Epperly 2-0 lead. This is where Lehigh has to be strong in order to come out the victor in this battle. In the first 4 bouts against Iowa State, Lehigh lost 3 of the first 4. Against Navy, they've got to win 3. They've got to win at least half. So losing 3 of the first 4 against Iowa State put them in position that, because of the fact that they don't have strength in the upper weights, they had negative yardage to start. Now they're ahead by 3, and Epperly looking to increase his lead and increase Lehigh's lead.
There is one bout, Larry, that, of course, there's the highlight bout of the day, if you can call it that. I would suggest it probably would be the Yazzo DeLorso bout at 142.
There's
Epperly drops in.
Okay. I guess it's clear to all those high school kids that are watching wrestling, when you pick up the leg, and we have a momentary timeout. I guess when he landed on the shoulder.
Let's take a look at it, Larry.
Watch the legs. Watch the sweep. He goes in.
No, I think he got the wind
Now he
knocked
picks
out of
up
him.
this leg. Now watch the sweep with the left
One or
leg.
the other.
Just get the left leg out of the way by
I think his
just
hands were
dancing
under,
around,
down on the hands.
and then you'll see the sweep. There it is, back of the leg.
Can you kneel? Come on in a kneeling position. You can breathe.
So maybe when they drop, he might have whacked out some of the wind. But that's only conjecture. As
We mentioned
coach is in
earlier,
talking with him.
You okay?
Larry,
Can you breathe now?
part of the underwriting cost today of this telecast covered by the Naval Academy Athletic Association. Just as the Naval Academy has a responsibility for the professional intellectual development of midshipmen, it also fulfills its responsibility for their physical development. 23 men's and 10 women's varsity sports, plus a major intramural program at the Naval Academy, and all midshipmen are required to participate in all of these programs, either in the intercollegiate or intramural level.
Epperly up front trying to gain a cradle, has a connection but not the position. Now tries to roll him through and gain a two-pointer, but doesn't, but has a 5-point lead with 50 seconds left, second period. John Epperly, a freshman out of Fairfax, Virginia.
Larry, we would also like to say hello to our good friend Tom Bates, Director of Sports Information at the Naval Academy, formerly at Lafayette College.
He was down there when Tom Davis was down there. Now Davis is out coaching the basketball team at Iowa.
Always good. Tom did not accompany the team, but we would like to say hello to Tom Bates and all his great people in the Public Relations and Public Information Department down at Annapolis.
Well, they were very responsive to me when I called to get a sports brochure. I thank them for sending it up, and want Tom to know his staff handled my call well, which is more than I can say for some schools that I called. I never got the brochure.
Period ends, and it's still a 5-0 lead for Epperly, the freshman from Lehigh, over Adam Sturbois, sophomore from the Naval Academy. Sturbois hails from Athens, Ohio. Epperly, of course, from Fairfax, Virginia.
Joe, when we're talking about the SID office, in the brochures, it's a fantastic article on 78 years of excellence by Rick Christ, and he did a fabulous job, and I would just want to recognize that and acknowledge his mentioning of my father's name, Billy Sheridan, who was a coach at Lehigh back in 1911 through 1952. And I appreciate his kindness in that comment about my dad. And the article itself, from the beginning to the end, is well written, and I remember all those names that he wrote about, at least from about 1945 on, starting with Mickey McDonald.
Minute and a half to go in the third period. Lehigh leading 3-0.
Epperly trying to get a tilt, but they're close to the edge of the bound, and warning has been issued against the Navy wrestler. It's out of bounds. We're in the third and final period, and again, the third period light's not working, so I've got a condition reflex show, and I don't see a light up there. I know it's third period.
Also, Epperly has riding time just about assured, so he'll have a point there. I'm somewhat surprised, Larry, that he doesn't try to let him up for a takedown to see if he can't pick up perhaps that major decision, because it doesn't look like Sturbois is going to cooperate.
Well, he's got one thing in mind, and that's to get some near fall points, and he's done everything possibly to turn him over. And we have a warning and a point now. It's now 6-0 plus one on the board.
Now the next one would give him the 8-point margin. He has a 6-0 lead. He has riding time assured for the 7th. And we've got 35 seconds to go. So Sturbois will have to have a little action on the bottom there, or he'll lose the point, and perhaps a major decision will involve here.
I think you're now going to get a... Tom Hutchison, assistant coach, gives the signal. Let him up. There you see Tom with his hands between his legs.
Okay or
Gentleman
no?
taking notice.
No
Jim
good?
Riley, former Lehigh Eastern champ.
Here is more injury time coming up here as
You got the time.
Sturbois appears to be a little bit winded.
Ed, if you have a bucket, he feels like it's coming up.
We want to remind our viewers in the Lehigh Valley area of two major sports events coming up on the schedule.
I don't think so.
And those, of course, would be the EIWA tournament, which will be on Sunday, March 8th for the 16th season. Channel 39 will originate that for the Eastern Educational Television Network, and then we'll have the state high school championships the following Sunday on March 15. Now, as Larry mentioned, Epperly will let him up and try to effect a takedown in the last 20 seconds. And he gets it. And that will give him the major decision if he can hang on for the remaining seconds.
You get 1 extra point if you beat your opponent by 8 or more, and if you beat him by 12 or more, you get another point, and of course you beat him by 15 or more, it's 6 points. And that's it, 9-1, final score. That's 8, spread of 8. That's 14 points, so that'll be 7-0 going into 134.
Look at that final takedown, Larry.
So he just walks off this position, goes off a semi-shrug, hangs on, and then picks up that far ankle. You got to anchor down behind the neck, as he did,